Okay, folks, welcome to our first Sunday Night Futures Live for 2021. Happy New Year. And I need to get this link because I sent out the wrong link to a couple of people. My apologies in advance. Where's the link? Bear with me. Let me put it over here. Boom. I just want to drop this into the forum because some people are on the wrong link. We will get going in a minute. I'll check comments. We'll have fun. We'll laugh. We'll cry. And here's the link. All right. Let me drop that in here. Anthony. Happy New Year, Anthony. All right. Let me just drop this in here for everyone else. All right. Good. Now we can go. Okay. Our first opening for 2021. Looks like we're flat here. So let's go to comments as things settle out. This is the Russell 2000. Say hello to everyone. All right. We have Will. Happy New Year, my friend. We'll take a look at AMD for you. Trader Isaac, yes, please. Smash the like button. MacArthur, you made it. Good for you. First out, best out is what I always say. Good for you. Kohu, you got it. WG Shocker, Happy New Year all. Nestor, Happy New Year to you, my friend. Brian Hall, Happy New Year to you. Larry, on board from Louisville. Happy New Year, my friend. Joseph, Happy New Year. Kat, the lovely Kat, Happy New Year to you. Okay. All right. So I'm out of the mind that this is going to be as a short, volatile week or a small. What am I trying to say here? I am not of the mind that there will be no volatility this week. I'm going to go into that in a moment. So I really want to get a feel for what has been the leadership group, the Russell 2000. And I want to take a look at the dollar. The dollar, which had a fairly good showing on Thursday, is up. Let's take a look at gold. Gold is surging. This is a major breakout. The number you want to watch on spot gold is 1912, not 1900. 1900 is a psychological support level for gold. The real number you want to watch is 1912. And I'll show you why here. Let's open up a fresh chart. Spot gold. Here we go. There's 1912 right there. That marks the highs of December the 21st where we're rejected. If we close above that 1912 mark and consolidate, that's a higher high, right? So we have higher lows. That would be a breakout and a close above to a new higher high. The trend continues. So it's a big surge higher here. Long way to go between now and the end of business tomorrow. But thus far, gold is looking good. I mean, I don't know if anybody's taken a look at Bitcoin. I'm sure you have. I mean, Bitcoin, my Lord, what was the high here? Why does it not give me the high? There it is. High was 33,700 on Bitcoin. It's insanity. The money printing is coming back to haunt. Insanity. I believe Ethereum also broke out. That's another cryptocurrency. Here's the S&P 500. We opened up. We're fading a little bit very early in the session. A lot can happen here. We'll go to other commodities, base commodities in a moment. Let's go to equities first. NASDAQ 100 opened up, faded. You don't know. This might be a pullback. Pause it, refreshes. We continue to break out higher. We closed out Q4 of 2020 at highs not seen since Q4 of 2017. So multi-year bullish sentiment highs. Let's take a look at the VIX, what's going on there. We have a possibility of a higher low getting put in here on the VIX. I mean, this chart's not really good for it. Let's use a daily chart. That should illustrate it better. It's less noisy. Here's your higher low. Now, when stocks are in trouble is when we start breaking out above this upper band of resistance. We're not there yet. Back to the 4-hour chart. So here's our lower band of support, upper band of resistance. Nothing to do here. It's either we break down or we break out. But this is becoming ominous, this setup here. We are now negative. Let's take a look at agriculture really quick. Let's go with corn first. New highs already. New, now multi-year highs on corn. That's a weekly chart. Intra-period anyway. Wheat. New yearly highs already. Intra-period. New multi-year highs going back many, many years on this weekly chart. Back to the 4-hour chart. Silver also breaking out, up 1.72%. Let's check back in with the dollar. I think it's very bullish that you have gold and silver breaking out with the dollar up. What that tells me is that you may have fear moving into the market. I'm going to talk to you a little bit. I started the conversation off this evening about why I thought that this was not going to be a calm week. I thought there was going to be some volatility this week, a lot going on. So we're going to have the Georgia Senate elections. Then we're going to have the Congress meet to ratify or not ratify the votes from the 2020 presidential election. And I want to go through some articles. It's going to be a bear. Nat gas prices shooting up. We're up, wow, over 3.75% on the session. Copper up a little over a third of a percentage point. So Crude oil, about flat. Not much happening here. Let's take a quick peek back at gold. It really needs to hold that 1912 mark to make a difference. Very good. Setting up to be a very, very interesting open tomorrow. S&P 500 flat, now up. Okay, let's take a look at some of the reasons why I am a little bit concerned going into the week about volatility. Don't tell me I just lost all my charts. I think I just lost all my charts. Oy vey. Okay, bear with me 1 second here, folks. All right, let's do this. Okay, sorry about that. I lost all my links. All right, so all hell is breaking loose in the political world. Her Highness Nancy Pelosi was reelected. That really doesn't matter that much. One thing that we were lacking as we proceeded into the new trading week was that you had a number of House Republicans. I think the number is now between 140 and 160. They're going to challenge the election results, and this is not about who I want to win. This is a reality. We're just talking about what the reality is here. So you have now about 11 senators. That's what they were lacking. You need one member of the House of Representatives and one member of the Senate to contest the elections. Then begins the debate. I think it's 2 hours per individual that is objecting. Now, the darts are being thrown. I don't know who released the audio tape. I think it's all to do about nothing, but a conversation was held between Secretary of State, this swamp creature out of Georgia, who's supposed to be a Republican. The Democrats, one thing you got to say about the Democrats, they don't break ranks. Republicans, I mean, if their lips are moving, they're lying. It's crazy. So it's all that they have to do just to keep their act together. What does this all mean? It means indecision. And you should expect more bombs to come out. We also have, this is the big one. Not that I want CNN on my screen. This can move the markets. Right now, we have divided government. As it stands right now, we have the Senate controlled by the Republicans. We have the House controlled by the Democrats. Slim majority in both. Right now, as it stands, in all probability, it's going to be a President Biden. So, while the Democrats control or may control two branches of the executive and the legislative branches, you still have a divided government, and that's a good thing. And that's why you've seen the S&P 500 rally nearly 13% since Election Day. to where we closed out the month. Now, if the Democrats, and this is not a Democrat Republican thing, it's all about the money. If that's right, Wall Street likes divided government. See, that's Anthony. This is in our Slack forum for members. Yeah, he's right. So the markets want divided government. If they feel that they're not going to get it, the last thing that Wall Street wants is any semblance of socialism. And frankly, we're a hair's breadth away from it. You're seeing it. And this would be a major problem for the market. Might the market shrug it off? Maybe. But near term, major problem. Short term, if the Democrats take the Senate. So it's going to be a volatile week. I don't believe that it's not going to be one. I think that you can't just look at charts and ignore what's on the table in terms of geopolitical risk. And trust me, this is geopolitical risk. In terms of economic data, I haven't looked at this yet. I need to absorb it. Not much coming out tomorrow. You're going to have the Purchasing Managers Index. It's important. ISM Manufacturing Index. That's important. Oh, this is PIMMAC Data of the week. In terms of economic data, non-farm payrolls. It gets kicked off on January the 6th. Then we get factory orders, FOMC minutes. That can move the market. Woof-a. Then we have non-farm payrolls. A lot of economic data coming out this week. McCarthy, it's crazy to think about stock market without capitalism. I can't imagine it being a good thing. It's not. We already have, what do they call it? Crony capitalism. You know, it was very much like that back during the Robert Barron days when you had the monopolies and you had the antitrust suits come in through Teddy Roosevelt breaking them all up. And we're in a very similar place as to where we are then in terms of these oligarchs, these monopolies being out there. But frankly, those people back then, they were true capitalists. What we have now are frankly socialists trying to control the narrative. And we were not in debt as we are now. We were a creditor nation back then when they existed. We are no longer a creditor nation. We are a debtor nation who just spent another $900 billion just out of thin air. We just created it. And we're only going to create more because they know the minute we stop creating new money, this all gets real fast. So expect the buying of debt, the issuance of debt, the buying of the same debt from the Federal Reserve to continue, because if they don't, everything gets real. I mean, it all comes crashing down. Oliver, hey, a long time no see you. How you doing, man? Happy New Year. R Train, Happy New Year. Josh Portnoy, cannabis industry, if Dems win Senate runoff. I think either way, the cannabis industry is going to be fine. I think it's becoming more and more mainstream. So I think that the cannabis, all they need is access to the banking sector. So they're going to need some sort of a federal mandate for that to happen. Does it become more likely in terms of having the Democrats control the entire show? Probably, yeah. So that's an interesting thought. Definitely one sector to look at. Falcon, hello. Paul, hello. Silver breaking through resistance, yes. Paul, hello. Happy New Year from South Florida. Hey, Paul. All right. Let's, I went through my doom and gloom. Let's take some stock charts. I'm going to go back and through our comments to ensure I didn't miss anything. All right, and folks, this segment is going to be brought to you by our friends over at TrendSpider. If you want to automate the grunt work, speed up your trading analysis, improve your accuracy, and reduce costly mistakes, you need to be using TrendSpider Automated Technical Analysis. I'll be using it and demonstrating how we use it here this evening. So use the link below. Don't use my discount code, okay? I usually get 35% off. Today is their last day of 50% off. So please act now, take advantage of it, and go to TrendSpider. All right. Let's go to the comments. I know we had AMD up there. I want to spend enough time going back. I'm going to be rejiggering how we do this because it's completely unmanageable. So I'm not sure how I'm going to do it. I may set up like a YouTube membership tier, like very cheap, or set up a free membership on the website. I'm still thinking about it, but that way, you know, I'll spend a lot more time going over these chart requests. Kat, yeah, I owned XRP. I owned Bitcoin. I sold it though. And XRP, I had a bunch of it. I sold it. I didn't take advantage of the recent run up. I sold. This has got to be a year now. I sold all these. PANW, hot sector, came off a bit last week. I know somebody wanted me to go over NEO. Let me see who that was. That was Raymond. I'll go over it briefly, but I went over it in great detail. The reason why I'm laughing, I got to show you this. In case you didn't catch my latest video on YouTube. I've never been so insulted. Where is it? Maybe it's gotten better. All right. So I did NEO earlier today. Folks, Happy New Year. And I dared challenge the delusion of a few people. Raven, I'm popping in the link to the video right there for you. And I have never had, it actually got better. My ratio, this is still very bad. My ratio of likes to dislikes I don't think it's ever been this bad. It's because I challenged the risk associated with these Chinese stocks. And I was kind of goofing around when I made up the title of this because I knew it would draw the ire of some. I had no idea how upset they would get. So I did a follow-up video about the risk of investing in these Chinese stocks. And there's legislation that's already been passed through the House of Representatives about having these stocks abide by the same accounting rules as U.S. stocks. What's the big deal? Heck, we have 300,000 dead over here. You know, the least you could do is abide by our own accounting rules, for Christ's sakes. So anyway, my long way of saying, I already did the analysis of NEO. I posted the link. I'll go over it briefly for those that are interested, don't want to go through the entire video. Let's get rid of this. Let's go here. All right. Falcon. My gut is telling me to buy AMC, the movie theater company. I would have said, okay. Hey, Big Bear. But I'm worried about these studios now streaming their content not only to the movie theaters when they do open, but they're also streaming directly to HBO Max. What are your plans for puts, GDXJ, SILJ? If anything, For puts, if anything, I'm going to sell the puts, and that's a bullish play. I don't own them. For those not familiar with what we're talking about, I am bullish on the silver miners. We own them. We're bullish on the gold miners. We own them. And I'd be even more bullish on smashing that like button. I was looking for something cute to say. So if you could smash that like button, I appreciate that. So yeah, if anything, what I would want to do with those names is sell puts. That would be a naked position, meaning I'm not short the shares of GDXJ or SILJ. Therefore, it's a bullish play. All I'm doing is bringing in premium. And if I have the shares put to me, I don't care. I want them anyway, except now I get them at a discount. Thanks, Oliver. All right, so let's get to it. NEO. All right, so I expressed some concern about NEO, but the average view duration of that video was about 4 minutes. Nobody waited to get me getting to the chart. They just decided they were going to destroy me, which is okay. I don't care. We have a breakout on NEO. We broke out. This is a weekly time frame. We broke out above this upper band of resistance. We stopped at another. I already have my alert set here for when I would be interested, if at all. I don't like Chinese stocks. Look at poor Jack Ma. Look what they did to him, the Chinese Communist Party. All right? He's not in control of his own company. None of these companies are in control of their own company. It's the CCP that's in control. So I don't want to be in business with the CCP. So we're breaking out here. If we break out above $50.60, I would be even more bullish. If we pull back and retested the breakout point from last week at around 46.88, that would be a good area to buy, open up a small position, add more on a close above $50.60 or even 49 bucks a share. Jack Ma's gone now, completely out. Amazing. Amazing. I'm telling you, they ever force these companies to abide by GAAP accounting rules? The day they make that announcement, you're going to see blood in the streets. These things are just going to drop like a rock because most people on the street, they don't believe that any of these companies, they're going to take it for granted that they're not going to meet our stringent accounting rules. So they're going to sell first. They're going to wait and see who abides, and they'll buy the winners. That's all. Simple as that. Okay. So NEO looking good. A little bit of topping action on Thursday. Watch for the pullback here. I think in all probability it's moving up higher. One thing I don't like is this. I forgot to go over this. Monthly chart. We managed this fairly well. We were above the 3 standard deviation Bollinger Band. We retraced about 3/4 of the move in December, rallied back. We didn't go positive. We didn't make a new monthly high. To me, this is stalling action. So I would be careful. But I think shorter term, it looks like there's more room to run here. They could definitely put in higher highs for 2021. So I'm not loving the Chinese stocks, but you ask me about NEO, looks like it's going to go up higher. All right, Apple. All right. Apple last week flashed a bearish key reversal bar. Closed up on the month, but topping action. We did put in a new weekly high, a monthly high, but it couldn't hold it. Daily chart. 3 long red candlesticks. I think we'll probably pull back a bit further here. 130.75 to You know what? The filling of the gap is a potential here. 128.50 is quite possible. Let's check out a seasonality. January is seasonally very, very favorable month out of the year. And that continues into February. So the first 2 quarters of the year look good, with the exception of June, where we really dropped down. And that goes back 19 years. So Apple, I think we're going to pull back further. Watch for support at 130.75. If not that, 128.50, which would fill the gap, which opened up on December the 22nd. NVIDIA. All right, so NVIDIA was one of the stocks I was going to go over on the week ahead commentary between Teradyne and NVIDIA. I chose Teradyne as a best stock chart for the new trading week. It's posted in the members area, the week ahead commentary. Now, NVIDIA, this is a daily chart. We'll come back to this. Bullish setup here. We flirted with a breakout last week. It couldn't deliver on it. Still closed down on the week. I'm going to bring this up right now to get this out of the way before I forget. Seasonality, horrible. The month of January, going back 18 years, up only 39% of the time. So beware of that. Daily chart. Now, what we did was, here's my automated trend lines. I'll take them off for a moment. Actually, they caught the breakout quicker than I did. Let's take off my drawings. All right, so here's automated trend lines. And you can see they picked up the breakout and then the subsequent retest on December the 30th. Now, I'm going to add my manually drawn trend lines. I still think it's very bullish. So we broke out, but we also retested my breakout point retest on Thursday. So it looks good here. I think that we're putting in higher lows. We could quite very well put in higher highs. The pivot point of this setup, this W formation, is right here. 538.64. A close above that mark, it should head up higher. So NVIDIA is looking pretty good. AMD. You know, I drew this a while ago. This head and shoulders setup on the RSI. I drew it easily over a month ago. And while we haven't broken down yet, it hasn't been rejected. It hasn't been debunked. So beware. And last month was a reversal month, a bearish reversal month. We had broke out to new all-time highs, and that breakout was rejected. And we closed down. Seasonality, going back 19 years, up only 44% of the times in January, 50% of the times in February. Not a seasonally favorable period of time. So we have AMD, NVIDIA, both semis, not looking wonderful in terms of seasonality as we proceed into the new year. This time of year. With the rest of the year, we don't know yet. Weekly chart. Consolidating nicely. Maybe it'll break out, but I would wait for the breakout. That breakout point would be at 94.21. Daily chart. Let's take these off. All right, so let me overlay my trend lines here. That's the automated. mine. I'm going to update this a bit. We have a volume shelf right here, right with the volume weighted moving averages in yellow at 90, let's call it 93 bucks a share. I wouldn't buy these shares until we closed above $93 per share. Be very careful. Remember, we had a bearish reversal month last month. We're putting in a potential lower high, a break to new lower lows. You're going to want to avoid these shares, especially with seasonality not in your favor. I'm not liking AMD. Especially in the back of my mind is this head and shoulders setup on RSI. Kohu. Monthly chart, very overbought relative to the third standard deviation Bollinger Band in red. We're not supposed to be there, but it can continue higher, high beta stock. RSI has more room to the upside. I like the way it digested. This is powerful, man. Normally, when you trade above the third standard deviation Bollinger Band, you get a snapback, pullback, or you could trade sideways, thus alleviating the overbought condition relative to the Bollinger Bands. What did this thing do? Monster. Created a massive support level where I'd be fine if you wanted to enter the share. Just keep a stop loss right under $35.07 per share. And I'd be looking to add on a close above, let's bring this up. On a close above 40 bucks a share. We have data going back a long time here. The first couple of months, January and February, are not favorable periods of time. So we're usually only up 37% of the time in January, then February. Be careful. Daily chart. Looking good here. I mean, this is a nice consolidation. The longer the consolidation, the greater the validation of any breakout. I'd like to know. I'm going to set up an alert here. And we'll keep this active for the week. The only other time I'd want to possibly open a position is down here at that historical support level. This one here I'm going to keep active for 2 weeks. Now I'm not going to think about this thing. So it's looking good. We have a rules-based approach. If this, then that. If we pull back to this lower band of support, we open up a position. If we break out, I'll either add to that position or open up a new position on the breakout. Till then, I don't want to know about this stock. Grayscale Bitcoin. We've already gone over this one kind of. And this is not even going to reflect the move overnight. I'm bullish on Bitcoin. I think they're going up higher. They're overbought. I mean, you take a look. S&P's firmed up a little bit here. If you take a look at Bitcoin, I mean, it's only gained. I mean, wow, this is incredible. But just like we did back here, this was a tell that we were going to break out higher. We traded above the third standard deviation Bollinger Band. This is a 4-hour chart. It digested all those gains. Now we gapped up yet again. Expect the same price action. Very bullish. So Grayscale Bitcoin, I don't like it because it's got big management fees. I'd rather just own Bitcoin. It's cheaper. So Grayscale, it's going to go up higher. Bitcoin's going up higher. Grayscale is going to move up higher. I just don't like the fees on Grayscale. All right. All right, let's take a look at, for CAT, XRP. You know, this is what always makes me nervous about crypto. This is the exact reason why I sold them. Is that at any given time, you know, think about it. SEC comes out, says, guess what? You're now a security and you're regulated. And this is what happens. One thing you need to know about the U.S. government is that they don't like competition with the U.S. dollar. And they certainly don't want money going to Bitcoin being hidden from taxation. You know, I'm not that educated on Bitcoin and the utilization of it and the ability to hide money from taxation. But if you can, it's not going to last. They will make sure that it gets regulated. So that's the reason why, you know, I'd rather just trade gold, miners, etc., because at least I know the animal I'm dealing with is JP Morgan, and what has been proven in court is a bit of manipulation on their part. And besides the fact that you have a derivative that's being driven by the paper market, the COMEX. So, you know, I know that demon. This demon and what could bring it to the end, it's the federal government, and that's what worries me about it. So XRP, would I buy it here? I don't see the setup. I think it's a dead cat bounce. It's probably going to move up lower. Ethereum, an absolute monster. And this is as of today. This is going to pull back, though. I can't believe it. We still have more room to run here. This could still go up higher. It's fading a little bit, but what a powerful chart. So these cryptocurrencies look great. I just fear the federal government. That's the reason why I'm not involved with them. It's in Ethereum, Pat. CAT, I bought 22 cents, but US is only 5% apparently of XRP. All right, let's continue on here. 15 minutes to go. Oh, Palo Alto Networks. I think that we're going to have to be a part of this trade, whether it be through the ETF hack or through an individual name like Palo Alto Networks. It's overbought. Monthly chart here, trading above third standard deviation Bollinger Band. Weekly chart last week, an inside week, no new high, no new low. Could be consolidation week. You could see with the automated trend lines that we hit the upper band of resistance, then we backed off. So what I want to do is similar to what we did with Coho. And that's set up some alerts here. Keep that going for 5 days. Then I want to know when we break out. All right. So same thing as with Coho. If we pull back to support, that alert fires off, we'll open up a position. If we begin to break out above resistance, then we add or open a position if we're not already long. So Palo Alto Networks, I think the whole sector is going up higher. Here's Hack. If you want to diversify, in fact, with Hack, if we were to retrace back down to support on a monthly time frame, I would be very interested. And that's just a core position. I don't like to own individual stocks as a core position. Too much headline risk. We'll keep this active for 10 days. So let's Hack AMC. AMC. Monthly chart closed out very, very weak. Very weak. I want to see the short interest on AMC. There's not a huge number of shorts. You know, the percentage of shorts held is 35.3%. What I like to do is I like to take a look at the number of days to cover those shorts. So you have a total of 38 million shares, rounding it off, held short. Average 3-month daily volume is 23 million shares, rounding it off. We're talking about what? 2 days max to cover the short position. So not very exciting from that perspective. And the candlestick is just absolutely horrible. Looking to see if I'm missing anything. Big volume last month on an abbreviated month, that and a holiday month, no less. Very oversold on the Stokes. Oh, this is a daily chart. Sorry. Monthly chart. Oof. If it breaks 195, you need to avoid. If it breaks 195, you're talking about a stock that could have ongoing concern issues. Total cash, 418 million. It's got debt of over $11 billion. I love I love AMC movie experience. I have major concerns about the ability of the stock to continue, and I think it's reflected in the share price. Hopefully I'm proven wrong, but you got this Fauci. I think the stock market the Dow would jump 1,000 points if they fired Fauci tomorrow. He's talking about, they keep changing. You click on a link here, and they change the article. Here, Fauci teases partial lockdowns like California under Biden administration. You click on the link, and this is Fox. And they changed the headline. I mean, you can't trust, everything's clickbait. So they got to get rid of this guy Fauci. He's got to go. Got to go. All right. That's my own personal opinion. GIHV. Beware of that AMC, please. I did maybe R-Train. I did PANW. I like it. What does it say? SPAC stock? It's got to be. I wouldn't buy this with Fauci's money. It's too extended. Actually, the daily chart looks pretty good. All right, I retract that. Let me reel that back in. I hate the weekly chart. The daily chart looks like they may pop it up higher. Let's come back to the daily chart. Not a good week last week. Big reversal week. I don't think there's no automated. Oh, there is an automated trend line. Not much, though. Not a lot of history here. Let's go to the daily chart. All right, so let's make up our own. If it breaks 12.73 per share, it's coming down to 12.34 to fill the gap, which opened up here on Christmas Eve. Depending upon how we look on a weekly time frame, I probably still wouldn't buy here. But if you're going to buy no matter what, that's where you want to buy, 12.34, and then add more on a rally up and through this upper band of resistance, where the price will be at that point in time, because this is declining each day. Where the share price is going to be, I'm not quite sure. So I'm going to throw this in the chat box, and you can review that in the future. I don't like the weekly chart. I don't like it at all. I think you're going to consolidate more here. All right, we have 5 minutes to go. I'd like to start going through the futures again as we close off. If you folks just joining in, may I ask you to smash that like button, leave a comment, share with a friend. I'd like to double our membership this year. That's a goal of 2021. So please subscribe to the channel. I appreciate it very much. Yeah, AMC is like a Hertz repeat. It could be. I hope not. I really hope not. CRSP. Bonnie Bean. Happy New Year. Came off, as you might expect. It became overbought in December, and let's see how we finished off the week. Not good. So here's the value of the automated trend line, folks. And if you're just joining in, This segment is brought to you by TrendSpider. 50% off. Use the link below. Do not use my discount code. That's only 35% off. Today is the last day of the 50% off sale, so take advantage of it. So here's the value of the automated trend lines. Pop. Were you long, you would have known, you know what, maybe you ought to make some profits real here as we hit resistance. Now, we're going to retrace. I'm pretty confident of that. The question is, where do we find a bottom? I want to check out my Stokes daily time frame. Yep, this is I figured. Avoid it. I'll share with you why. The reason is that the market sent you a signal, multiple signals here. Good breakout, a little bit of a topping tail, no big deal. But then we started having filled candlesticks, then a down day, then another filled candlestick. What that was a tug of war between bulls and bears. All right? They didn't know which way to take it. You didn't have enough conviction on the part of bulls to take it up higher. And then when you saw this W formation, which broke out, fail, that was a lower high, a breakout, and a failed breakout at that. And now, effective tomorrow, unless this thing gaps up, we're going to be putting in lower highs down below 50. And when those Stokes are trading down below 50 and declining, rallies tend to fade. Rallies tend to fade. I'm going to make up a t-shirt that says that. I don't know how I'm going to phrase it. I'm going to need a diagram. But rallies tend to fade when Stokes are trading down below 50. Avoid this stock. Pounding the table. Avoid. Unless they get bought out, because they're going to embarrass me tomorrow. They're going to get bought out and somebody's going to come back and say, you said to avoid. All right. Story of my life. But anyway, I'm not kidding around though. Even if we move up higher on no news tomorrow, watch the 3 p.m. close. Does it fade or does it hold gains and close at the highs of the day? That's the big caveat. So be careful with this stock, please. Let's start the new year off very, very right. All right. Let's circle back to we have 1 minute left to go. I'm going to circle back to the futures. Bitcoin still up $4,000. Amazing. Let's check in with the dollar. The dollar holding gains, consolidating. Drum roll, please, for gold. We are gaining. So I was asked earlier about the GDXJ and the SILJ. That's the junior gold miners and the silver gold mine. Let me start that over again. The GDXJ, the junior gold miners, and the SILJ, which is the silver junior gold miners. Will I add more tomorrow and chase them up higher? No. The first thing I want to see is gold close above 1912 the ounce. Then, if anything, I'll sell puts against SILJ and GDXJ. And if I haven't put to me, so be it. If not, I'll just collect premium. I don't care. But I'm not going to chase it. I want to make sure, because keep in mind, with the GDXJ, and this is what's already in the back of my mind, is this. Connect. Look at the beautiful flag setup here on the GDXJ. Show me a close above 56 bucks a share. You know what? I may even buy the shares. If we get a pullback and a retest, I'll probably add more on that breakout. But I'll also sell puts. Daily chart. Looks like we're breaking out. Wedge formation. Looks like we're breaking out along with gold. All right, back to the closing futures action. Let's go to silver. BTBT. Oh, you're running out here, pal. Bitdigital.com. This is a 4-hour chart. You have a double top on RSI. I would not be a buyer here. You're very extended, trading above the 3 standard deviation Bollinger Band on a daily time frame and on a weekly time frame. This is untouchable. I mean, can it go higher? I mean, yeah, Bitcoin is up 13% overnight. So yeah, can they pump it up higher? If they do, I'd be a seller. Me personally, I can't give investment advice, but me personally, I'd be a seller. I'd take that money and I would run, because you're going to get a pullback. You're going to get consolidation. Nothing lasts forever. S&P futures, negative again. The intrigue. 15-minute chart. Russell is up a half percentage point. NASDAQ, look, they're squeezing the shorts and the small caps again. That's going to be the name of the game. That's the rotation game. So NASDAQ 100 down about a quarter percentage point, was up higher. Nat gas prices up 3.5%. Bonds. I didn't go over bonds yet. Bonds are weak, dollar up. If yields move up, beware of the banks. They'll probably move up as well. Remember, they've been given the okay, most of them anyway, to buy back their own shares, and they will. JP Morgan has already said they're going to buy $21 billion worth of their own stock. Goldman Sachs, they said they're going to be buying back stock. They gave no time frame on that. And with that, folks, I'm going to say thank you very much for joining me every Sunday. Please, let's start the year out right. Let's not let emotion take advantage of us. Let's go over something really quick. If you got a moment, I want to show you something seasonality-wise with the S&P 500. I meant to go over this earlier, but I closed out all my links. S&P 500 going back 19 years. January is not a wonderful month. We're up only 47% of the time. And when you take a look at a weekly time frame, because with TrendSpider, you could drill down to the week of the year, the day of the year, the hour of the day. Now, the first 2 weeks of each year over the past 19 years have been very good, up 63% each week. That all changes the third week. So beware. So I want to leave you off with that little bit of data, and it's a lot of data. So let's keep this in mind as we proceed into the new trading week. If history holds true, they're going to spike the market. Remember the Georgia elections. Remember the congressional certification of the presidential elections. Remember, it's a jobs week. A lot of economic data coming out this week, including FOMC minutes. Thanks for joining in. Have a great night and a profitable trading week. Be well.